Have you ever done something really silly? I mean, downright asinine. Like trying to look and actually do what it said. Who does that? Today, Toastmaster Gerren Sprauve will share a piece of his journey in his speech titled, It Begins With You. Please welcome Gerren Sprauve.
Yeah, let's go!
I did a thing. I read a book.
Oh,
And then I did what it said to do. You might think, like, that's smart, Gerren. Follow along. Read the book. It's going to teach you some knowledge. Do what it says. Have you ever thought that the journey of doing what it says may not be that hard? I read this book called The Prayer of Jabez. I don't know if any of you have ever read the Prayer of Jabez in the Bible, right? But it says, oh, that you would make me prosperous and enlarge my territory. In today's language, that's like, I want money, I want fame, I want everything that the world has to offer, God. Give it to me. The journey from that prayer until now is not, or has not been that entertaining. Let's start with number one. I decided to give my employees a raise across the board. I've been looking at the climate of the economy and things of that nature, and I said, you know what? Let's help. And at the same time I gave everyone a raise, one of my largest clients decided to make a budget cut and cancel our contract. God, I said I wanted you to enlarge my territory. What's up? I just gave a raise, God. What am I going to do? He says, leave it alone. God, look at our budget. Look at our pockets. Look at the raises. What are you saying? Leave it alone. The very reason why the client canceled our contract was because we were trying to get more so that we could pay more because we were getting squeezed in the middle. Now I'm being squeezed even more in the middle. Fast forward. Another client, a very profitable client, canceled. God, I asked you to make me prosperous. What's going on? And as I'm going through this process, and I still am going through this process, I'm learning so many different things about myself. I learned to be patient. I have to learn to trust. One morning, it was a Thursday or a Wednesday morning, I'm up early, and I decided to pray. Pulled out the Bible, did my devotions. It's like 1:30 in the morning. My daughter, who has recently gotten braces, wakes up and she comes knocking on the door. She's crying. Daddy, it hurts. Shh, come, let's sit down outside. I don't want to wake up Mommy. Sit on the couch, and I said, talk to me. And she's just like, it hurts, Daddy, it hurts. It didn't hurt yesterday, but it hurts today. And then she was like, well, why are you up? Huh. It hurts, baby. And she said, what hurts? And I love and hate these moments that I have with my children because now that I'm more vulnerable and open, I have the conversation. So I pull out the email from my manager which says, here's payroll numbers, authorized. I didn't authorize it yet. It's Wednesday. It has to be done by Thursday. I said, baby, look at what the payroll is. I pull up the bank account. Baby, look at what's the bank account. And she's like, it doesn't match, Daddy. I said, the numbers just don't make sense. She said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I said, that's why Daddy's up. And she said, doing what? I'm like, I'm praying, chick, I'm praying. The Bible says all these promises, right? And I know sometimes people wonder, like, well, what are you supposed to do with the Bible? And I said, well, I want to trust because I've been working hard with my muscles, and sometimes it doesn't quite add up. This number and that number, baby, I can't close the gap within a day. But what are we going to do, Daddy? She's 10 years old. I said, well, you see how your braces are hurting? She said, yeah. I said, well, at a certain point, your mouth is going to change, and then it's not going to hurt as much. And then they're going to tighten it up again. And then your mouth is going to change a little bit, and then it's not going to hurt as much. And they're going to tighten up again. I said, baby, in business there's ebb and flow. And what daddy's going through is the same thing you're going through, and it hurts. I'm waiting for it to kind of like release a little bit. I said, so I'm going to write this down in my journal, and let's see what happens over the next 24 hours. I go to work, and then something tells me, go into the office, Gerren, just go into the office. I go into the office, and there's 2 checks in there that amounts to $300 more than what the payroll amount was. I quickly deposit it. Later that evening, my daughter comes into my office at the house, and she's like, hey, Daddy, what's going on? I said, let's sit down, let's take a look. And I'm like, I'm writing in my journal, and I wrote down the experiences she and I had that morning early, and then I also wrote down the 2 checks. And then I pulled up the account, and I showed it to her. Daddy, I was like, I know. And I said, I didn't do anything. And she's like, God, I didn't do anything. I just went into the office. How is your mouth? And she's like, it feels good. It's the ebb and flow. Baby, we're being changed with the experiences of life. You're getting your early introduction to how this feels. I'm getting the adult version. It's going to happen to you all through life, babes. I want you to understand the ebb and flow, and then I want you to understand this is the reason why Daddy does his devotion. Because sometimes I don't know how to make it happen. It's like, look, man, no hands. And then it's there. Friday comes around. Something tells me to go into the office. Yeah. So I go into the office. And my client sends a check and says, I'm sorry that we were so far behind. We've paid up 5 months worth. It surpassed and surpassed. And then another check came in on Friday. Oh, that you would make me prosperous. Find your experience.